I'm a bit anxious about tomorrow. How about you? Are you worried?
A wee bit. But we've got good intentions. Sir Hans is responsible. And sensible too, when it comes to important things. And no doubt Lord von Berghoff is a wise man and he'll hear him out with a cool head. Clever folks can always somehow come to an agreement, can't they?
That's right. And also, we're coming with an offer of alliance. I can't imagine what could happen for them not to receive us.
Not much chance of that.
How do you like it here?
I'll tell you, it's nothing like home.
And have you ever been further than Rattay?
No, I never was, but I always wanted to. That's why Oates put in a word for me so I could ride along. Besides, for an adventurous expedition like this, you've got to have the right gear and good horses. And I'm in charge of them.
And you take good care of our horses. I can't say they're exactly whinnying with joy.
Don't make fun of me, eh? Whenever they need anything, I take care of it for you. The only thing that bothers me is them cliffs and rocky paths. I hope none of the horses breaks a leg.
Heel! Here, Mutt. Search. Free.
Watch that tankard. You play dice with him, you'll lose your brace.
How do you think things will end up tomorrow?
How? No ways, I reckon. Whenever someone parleys with someone about something, it takes ages.
Why do you think that?
See me and Conrad now? We can't even agree who's going to be on watch this evening. But then, I'm just a spear carrier. I ain't got the head for no noble manners. Ask Oates. He'll know more about it for sure.
Maybe in the end, Lord Capon and von Berghoff will arrive at some agreement.
Aye, maybe. We'll see.
Listen, would you have some scraps for Mutt?
That's a good one. He already gobbled up a piece of venison while I was having a piss. I've got one last sausage and I'll be saving that for the way back. Look, Henry, I'm fond of that beast, but you ought to keep him under control.
Come on, Oates. We'll get to Trotsky tomorrow, and there'll be plenty of food there. We're a noble's escort, so they're obliged to feed us well. Pheasant in wine, roast pork with apples. Have you ever been to a proper noble banquet?
No, I haven't. Why would the lords invite me to their table?
True. But they'll invite me. I might be only a noble's bastard, but Sir Hans opens doors for me, if you get my meaning.
Aye, that makes sense.
Listen, if you give me that sausage now for Mutt, I'll bring you something from the feast tomorrow, all right?
Christ! All right. But you better not forget about me.
Don't worry. Thanks, mate.
Look what I have for you.
So, should we start?
Ready? Let's start. Draw your sword.
Hang on. This time, I'll take the lead.
I just can't wait.
Let's get warmed up. I'll attack you a few times. You defend.
Go ahead. Impress me. Is that the best you've got? I didn't even work up a sweat.
Oh, you will soon enough. A foe in plate armor has to be worn down.
Let's see it then. Attack properly now. A longer sequence.
Very nice exchange, Henry. That got you dancing, eh?
Enough!
Now you're warmed up, eh?
Yeah. But you're pretty winded yourself. While you're attacking, you still have to take care you have strength left to defend.
Save the advice and try it yourself.
Gladly. On guard. Nice. Defend yourself properly.
At each other.
That's the way. Good. Good.
Oh, that's enough. No one's ever won a duel just by blocking. You've got to make an opening to strike back. And you do that by means of a perfect block.
Perfect block, eh? You've become a real swordsman.
Start your attack then.
You're doing great, Henry. Nice, Henry. Nice. But what about a riposte? Reckon you can manage that?
Why wouldn't I? Nothing to it. I just follow up a perfect block immediately with a strike. I'll show you.
Get ready. Nice. Sweet. You have to block first. Well, you're not as good as Captain Bernard, but that wasn't bad.
Be sure to remember, if someone gives you a riposte, you can still fend it off with a perfect block. And it's best to follow up right away with your own riposte.
Yeah, right. But what if I want to attack in such a way that you can't make a perfect block?
Then it's best to attack at a spot where your opponent isn't covered. Where he's not holding his weapon. You defend, and I'll show you how.
All right, come on then. Nice work, Henry.
Oh my Christ!
Slow.
You've got to get around
Nice.
that weapon, Henry. For Christ's
Nice.
sake.
Not like that. Good
That's how it's
riposte.
done.
All right. I get it. For Christ's sake. Enough demonstrations and explanations.
Let's have one training duel to finish up, eh?
Indeed. And let's have a wager to spice things up. How about 100 groschen?
All right. 100 groschen it is.
Defend yourself. Power even.
That's rightful sword.
Weren't expecting that, were you?
You're a dead man. You know that?
Cut the bullshit.
Now that's what I call sword.
Expecting that, were you?
You're a dead man. You know that?
Put up a fight at least.
hurt. Don't you think you should yield?
Let's fast fly.
Put up a fight at least. Put up a fight at least.
Go for it!
Nearly done
Put
it.
up a fight at least.
Swordplay.
Put up a fight at least.
Come on, Henry. Nice.
Put up a fight at least. And you've had it. I say the victor is clear. I'll get my winnings from you later. Now it's time to eat. Oh, that swordplay is quite enough. Let's get...
So who won, gentlemen?
That's obvious, isn't it? Henry learned a lesson or two, and I won our bet. At least I'll have someone to buy me drinks in the tavern. It was almost like that time in Rattay.
True. Only I won that time. Your bow, which came in very handy afterwards.
You were unbelievably lucky, beating me after just one day of training. True, I wasn't in my best form that day. We had a drink or two beforehand.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies? Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
If you told us earlier, I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the day before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was pretty. A real peach. Admit it.
Only a fella was there.
He was well pissed off. If I hadn't convinced him you were the village idiot and that we dragged you home right away...
And if I hadn't left him a fistful of coin to boot...
Throwing groschen around like that? Fellas, if a rainy day comes, you'll be fucked.
Ha! I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry?
Hmm?
You never gave us the goods on that lass of yours. What was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
And she saved my life.
A brave girl.
Aye. She's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
She's my sweetheart. And that's all I'll tell you.
Ach, don't be such a monk. Out with it.
Listen up. I'll tell you what that girl can do. The wildest she-cat I know. So when she's stripped off...
Enough, enough. You want to be a chivalrous knight, and you talk like that about a damsel? For shame. You know, this travelling isn't too bad.
Apart from the mosquitoes.
Aye. Apart from them.
Where were you yesterday evening, Henry? You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our lord.
Hey, don't make trouble.
I needed a bit of peace and quiet. I had a stroll around, checking out what plants grow here, praying for the success of our mission. Then I came back.
At last someone with some sense who's not in a hurry all the time.
If I always had to think everything over, but...
I wouldn't have rolled in the hay with so many girls if I spent my time just thinking about it.
Thanks for the prayer, anyway.
And what about, time, sir? I mean, will we be getting any time off, sir?
It depends. Once von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about von Berghoff?
Only what Sir Hans told us, that von Berghoff is a big cheese in the royal court. That's why we're going to negotiate an alliance with him.
You summed that up nicely. But yes, that's how it is. He's the Royal Chamberlain. You fellas will never meet a more important noble than him.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting them ain't the same as knowing how to use them.
And is he any good at sword fighting? It ain't nothing easy to learn.
The sword is the weapon of a master. Balanced, fast, and suitable for all situations. Of course, you have to train with it and try to improve your technique, but the result is worth it.
Aye, I get it. It was just a training fight. Pardon me.
Oh, swords, swords, swords. No doubt you're going to tell us again how the perfidious Istvan Toth stole your sword. And I thought you'd come round to thinking about other things.
And that sword is the only reminder I had of Pa. We forged it together, just before he was slain. But that's another matter. I suppose you've heard enough of that, eh?
Well, you know.
No, it's all right.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Istvan's shoes if you ever come face to face with him again.
What? So Radzig ain't dead, though?
Enough, enough. Otherwise we'll be here for hours again hearing how Martin the Smith raised him even though Radzig is his real father. It's complicated, and let's leave it at that. No offense.
Who'll help me tomorrow with getting supplies for the journey back?
We rolled dice for it, and I won, so Conrad goes.
What are you on about?
Enough. Oath, you're no fun at all. There'll be a feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning.
No thanks. I must wash myself down a bit.
My words exactly. We can't turn up at Trotsky tomorrow in this state.